Hi and welcome to the Valencia property video report for the February time. We're going to look today at what we sold in the last month, what we've listed in the last few days, and what we're going to list as well. And also we're going to answer some of your questions and take a look at what's happening in Valencia in the next month or so. So, first, in the last month we've sold places in La Liana, we've sold places in Nájera, we've sold places in Valencia itself, in Nazaret, in Corts and in Malia, which funnily enough are the places that we recommended last month. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? Anyway, we've put some great new listings up. I'm actually going to photograph this morning a huge place in Serra on the Portacelli estate, which, as you might know, is one of our favourite estates, and it's just fantastic. It's a huge house on about 4,000 metre plot for €350,000. It should be on the site by the time this video comes out because I'm going in about an hour to photograph it. We've also put up a brilliant place in Nájera, which we really like. It's really peaceful, really quiet, and it's walking distance into the town, which is always quite useful. So €200,000 for that, and they'll accept offers, we believe. And apart from that, there are some fantastic apartments in Valencia, where, of course, we always say there are certain parts of Valencia that people prefer, but in the last month, we've been doing some articles about that as well. So, in the articles, I think what you should look at is we've done a video, or done an article about alternatives to the most popular areas in Valencia. So, for example, what are the alternatives to Rusafa? And we've said Malia and Corts, to the places which are sold places this month. We've done about the beach area. What are the alternatives? So, Ayora, for example, is a good alternative to that. And we've done what are the alternatives to the centre of Valencia, La Faidia, etc. So, we've looked at the alternative areas where you get better value for money. And then we looked at what maybe lifestyle design is for people who come over to Valencia, because lifestyle design means that you design your life in a way that suits you, and it might be much more suitable for people to live outside the city. Enjoy the city by all means, be within 20 minutes, half an hour of the city, but go to a place which may suit you more. So we've looked at Nájera, we've looked at Petra, we've looked at La Liana, and all these places are on public transport to get into the city, either by bus or by metro or by train. We've even gone down to Gandia, which is an hour away, but it's a straight, very simple train ride into Valencia. All of these places should be considered alternatives because they're all very easy to get in. We've used the metro lines, we've used the railway lines, and also there are also bus lines which connect up various areas with the city itself. You shouldn't think that just because you don't drive, for example, that you've got to be in the city, although that probably is the best idea. So, we sent out an email to our mailing list and we asked for some questions. What would you like to know? And we got quite a few back, so we're going to do 3 today, and we'll leave the rest for more videos that we're going to put together. But first, we got asked by Vera, for example, who do we recommend for property management for someone who buys a place and then isn't actually here? Vera, for example, is from the States. So we use various companies. There's one called Globexis who we recommend. They work very well and they do sort of expat medium-term rentals. We use Heaven on Earth, Pilar at Heaven on Earth. She's really good and she tends to concentrate more on holiday rentals, but she also does some longer-term rentals as well. And we also, we've got a friend called Jess who looks after properties and also advertises properties. Very good, and will keep your property ticking over if you need to. We also have various key holders and people who pick up your post and scan it and send it on to you, and from a minimum of €50 a month. The costs, obviously it depends on the rental. Companies take anything between 10 and 30% depending on what they are doing to get that rental. For example, if you get the rentals yourself and they're just looking after the apartment, it's a lot cheaper than if they're also doing all the advertising for you and things. But they can do that, that's very important. John said, we're considering a move to the Valencia region, but we're worried about the fact we've been told there are not many expats around, and therefore what about the social life? Well, there are plenty of sports clubs, plenty of cultural groups, plenty of gastronomy clubs and other things which you can join as an expat and get to know not only other expats, but also Spanish people who join in these things. Also, there are plenty of online groups. For example, Americans, there's a group of Americans in Valencia. There's actually 2 or 3 competing groups on Facebook of Americans in Valencia, and you get to know a lot of people through that. We actually get a lot of recommendations of clients through that, because people who we've sold to in the past know others who come onto these platforms and ask for information, and they send them on to us. So we're quite happy with Facebook groups in that way, although I'm not American, as you can tell by the accent, and therefore I'm not allowed to join. Adam asked a much longer question. It's actually 4 questions in one, and so if you'll allow me, I'll just read it. It says, which areas on the outskirts of Valencia is the nicest for peace and quiet, but with close access to the city and a sea view if possible? For a detached house with a pool, either contemporary or a complete refurb, or to push a townhouse that can be renovated. Okay, 4 questions in one, and based on this question I wrote the article about the alternatives to Valencia, the lifestyle design outside the city, and it's got quite a lot of suggestions in there. But very quickly I did answer this, and I said, well, Nácara might be an option for distant sea views. You're only about 20 minutes from the city and you get good value for money. But the thing is, Valencia's flat. You go up the hills into Nácara, so there's a possibility Valencia is mostly flat. You can get sea views, for example, on the Monasterios and Alfinac estates, which are near Puzol. They're gated estates. They're big properties, quite expensive properties, very nice properties, but to tell you the truth, Puzol doesn't float my boat. It's not a place I would choose to live if I had to in Valencia, despite the fact that it is on the railway track and you can get into Valencia in 15-20 minutes. I'd prefer somewhere else, let's say Puzol. Not my favourite place. And so we get to what's on in Valencia in February. Well, February is the start of the Fallas season. Fallas is mostly March, but this year the Crida, which is the start of the signals the start of the Fallas Fiesta, is on the 24th of February at Torres Serranos. Get there early if you're going to go, and they project images onto the Torres Serranos with a lot of music. It's very loud, and there's fireworks and everything. It's quite spectacular. And actually the events around Fallas start on the 25th of February this year. They're bringing them into February, extending that time period. Fallas used to be 15th to the 19th of March. That's it. Now they're extending it a bit. And also the firework displays in the town hall square, they are every day from the 1st of March onwards. So 1st to 19th of March at 2 o'clock in the town hall square every day. You've got a big firework display. It's very loud, and some of you are saying at the moment fireworks during the day. Yeah, they do like a lot of noise and smoke and things in Valencia. So the town hall square gets cut off every day around 2 o'clock. So bear that in mind if you're going into the centre of Valencia. This month is also the first month of the CES International Showjumping, which is between Rocafort and Bétera. You can't miss it as you go from Rocafort to Bétera. You go under the motorway, the A7, and you come out and there's a huge sign for it on the left. 3 arenas for show jumping, and there's lots of events on all the way through this year. The first one is all the way through February. It's free entry. If you're into horses and things, it might be worth going. I won't be going. I've got allergies. I would sneeze the place out. Every Saturday during February and also March, there is something about music and astronomy at the Hemispheric, which is a part of the City of Arts and Sciences. Speaking of the City of Arts and Sciences, we've got some photos at the end which you can take a look at of sunsets at the City of Arts and Sciences. The Hemispheric is like a 3D IMAX cinema, and it's a really interesting place to go, and they have lots of different things on. You won't have Star Wars on there, but you will have some interesting 20-minute, 30-minute documentaries which are on there all the time. And as a part of the City of Arts and Sciences, it's great. Remember, the City of Arts and Sciences is the biggest tourist attraction in Spain. Not many people actually go into it, but loads of people go to see it. Do go to the Oceanographic though, that's fantastic. Science Museum? It's okay, and at the moment they've got the Fallas models on display, so it's well worth going to look at the moment. Another thing to remember is that they've got the Picasso exhibition on at Fundación Bancaja in the centre of Valencia at the moment. So if you're into art, obviously there's the Bombas Gens, which is the new art centre. You've got the Modern Art Museum, you've got the Traditional Art Museum, and you've also got the Fundación Bancaja, which has various different things on. This time the Picasso exhibition, I know some people have been seeing it already and say it's really good. A couple of website recommendations this month for you. We've got valencia-kids.es, which is excellent and tells you loads and loads of things you can do with kids in Valencia. It's all in English, of course. And also visitvalencia.com, which is the Valencia Tourist Board, which has got plenty of stuff in English as well about things to do, and that's where you find out what's going on at the moment and what there is to do all year round in Valencia. It's well worth looking at. And just to finish off, here's some photos from the last month in Valencia. This is what we do as estate agents. We take people around, show them the areas as well as houses, and have a great lifestyle here in Valencia. We look forward to seeing you next month as well, when we'll be back with another video with a lot more, and probably have one of those big firework displays on it as well.